up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty keg of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scared money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty all picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies. Welcome, guys, to the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets, and it's opening day. This show is 2 days a week with the guys you have come to trust. Speaking of trust, this is the only guy we'll ever tail when it comes to K-props. And my guy, Spin, I know you're ready for today, but how's life been?
Oh my God, man! I'm sitting in a new house, in a new office. We got college basketball has been treating us fantastic, but this is the main event. This is the main event. I got my Game of Thrones theme behind me. Talked about, even though it's summer, winter's coming when we fucking take these guys on for strikeout props. So. I am so ready for this season to kick off, and let's roll. Let's do this.
Man, if you guys don't know, do me a favor, smash that like button. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe. We're going to get after it a little bit different this year than in the past, but it's going to be better for the show. I'm going to pick out 3. Spin Doc's going to pick out 3. And then we'll just chip in a little bit if we have anything else to add on. We're not going to bore you with pretty much, we both usually agree 90% of the time. And we're going to tell you the same thing anyway. So this way, it'll speed up the show. We'll be able to talk about a little more pitchers and pending. We'll see if we add more in this way. But first guy on the docket is going to be McKenzie Gore versus the Phillies. Striking people out last year 25% of the time, while walking people 9% of the time. Morning line was 6+ at -104 on FanDuel. That's still the same as we speak. Pitching outs are 15.5, -155 to the under, whereas earned runs are 2.5, -160 to the under. Projected lineup was 4 lefties and 5 righties, but no, these cucks want to run 5 lefties and 4 righties versus McKenzie Gore. Last year, guys, and maybe it might be the right way. Last year, lefties only struck out 21.5%, where righties 26%, and at home a 24% K percentage compared to a 25.5 on the road. This is your guy. Let's talk him.
Yep. So they're playing an analytical lineup today, but I'm not sure that it's the right one. So first thing about Gore is that he's looked fantastic in spring training, a 2.76 ERA, 1.35 whip, 9.92 Ks per 9, which is right about what he averaged last year. The big thing, though, is he spent a lot of the offseason and has worked extensively with pitching coach Jim Hickey, who's in his 4th year now. So there's some familiarity working on his control. Gore, walks-wise, had been about a 9 to 10% guy, but he had also had a lot of 3-ball counts. Because of his overpowering fastball, he could work his way out of it, but he had the tendency to just rack up counts and rack up pitches early in the innings, early in games and in innings, and then pitch himself out of the game before the 5th inning was done. He's trying really hard not to do that, and it's paying off. 2.57 Ks to walks, which would be the highest average of his career if you factored in spring training. Now, I said spring training a bunch of times. Do I put a ton of stock in spring training stats? Not necessarily, because it's not always against full-time big big league hitters, but he does face a lot of big league guys. So, for example, the 9.92 Ks per nine, up from a career average of 9.67. The 2.57 Ks to walks is up from about 2.5. Whip is down. Gore has looked really, really good. The other thing I look at is because it's his fourth season with Jim Hickey and with this Nationals staff, there's multiple years. Past history can actually play a nice role in predicting the outcomes for today. So one thing with that is Gore has 90 plus pitches in every start in April last year. He's had 3 straight starts in spring training of 72 pitches or more. Therefore, I'm pretty sure he'll go 90. I'm pretty sure he'll get about 90 pitches, 90 to 100, somewhere in that area. Now, I go and I look at this Phillies lineup, and I see a whole bunch of opportunity here. And what I mean by that is that I see that lifetime in his career because it's a divisional opponent. So you have a lot of history. With enough history where it matters to me, he's got a 35% K percentage against Schwarber. He's got a 28.5% K percentage against Real Muto. He's got a 26% against Harper. And then Brandon Marsh, who's at the bottom of the lineup. This is why I talked about, go ahead and run lefties, but I'm not sure that that's the right way to do it because Marsh has struck out 40% of the time. Granted, only 5 plate appearances. So I look at this lineup and I see that I personally think he can get Real Muto. He can get Schwarber. He can maybe get Schwarber twice because Schwarber has had an awful spring. He's kind of reverted back to some of his just hack at shit tendencies. If you notice, Schwarber is also not leading off today. He's batting cleanup. Trey Turner's leading off. Trey Turner actually has about close to a 25% strikeout percentage lifetime in enough plate appearances for it to matter. So he can probably get Real Muto, Schwarber, Harper, and for sure Marsh. I have Baum and Turner as maybes. He's never faced Max Kepler, and Castellanos and Stott are the only 2 in the lineup where, based on history, based on swing tendencies, I'm not 100% confident that he could get a strikeout here. So you give me all of that, and then you give me some of his other lines that to me correlate quite well, especially with his hits at only a 4.5. So if he's going to throw 90 plus pitches, and only give up 4.5 hits, that to me bodes well for a decent start. This is a pitching staff and a managerial staff that has had no problem running him 90 plus pitches to start the year. It's not like some teams do with some pitchers and baby them. It's not like you see teams do with like some of the Japanese pitchers and they get babied. And after 65, 70 pitches, the managers walk into the mound. They've let Gore go, and they've let him go in spring training as well. So you give me that, and you give me a lot of those guys that he can get at the top of this lineup. McKenzie. So for my first official show play, McKenzie Gore over 5.5 strikeouts. I think if you're playing this one, you're playing the over or you're playing nothing. The other thing that I look at here too is that while it's heavily juiced, his walks are only at 1.5. So it signifies to me that they think he's going to walk 2. And last year, it was rare that we got a 1.5 line, even heavily juiced for Gore. It was usually a 2.5 with some reasonable juice on the under. So I think that the line is set because there's, at least for now, books are buying some of the additional control stuff he's worked on in the offseason. But there's a good amount of past history here. There are multiple of these guys who have struck out many, many times against Gore, especially at home. So I'm buying Gore today. McKenzie Gore over 5.5.
Yeah, the only things that I'm going to add in right there is I just wrote down this guy needs you to chase, as this guy's chase contact is upper echelon in the MLB. And if you're going to chase, good fucking luck. So projected lineup comes out. The lineup finally did come out. I talk about keys all the time, and I talk about 2/3 of the lineup matching up with going. So 6 of the 9 guys in this lineup are league average or worse when it comes to chase. If you're going to chase versus this man, nah. The career K percentage to go against this team said you can fire away, and the chase says you can fire away. This man told you every other reason why you could fire away. So, I'm going to have to get in probably with you, my guy. Now, I'm going to be a vagina because it's the first week of baseball, and I'll probably put him in a 5 parlay, pull him down one, just a 5, just in case he only goes 5 innings. Okay, 1 an inning, that's fine for this man. Not a problem. So, definitely, I'll be looking to parlay him. What's up, my guy?
Well, I was just going to say one more thing I wanted to add, just because y'all know I study the umpires. So normally this would be a stop block for me. So Alfonso Marquez is behind the plate. Alfonso Marquez is and can be a very, very hitter friendly umpire. Now I go back and I look, and in multiple career stuff, 4 of them to be exact, with Alfonso Marquez, including I believe one against the Phillies, Gore has a 25.6% K percentage. So it hasn't really impacted him that much. And to what my guy just said, if you're going to chase against Gore, which the Phillies do, and multiple guys in this lineup do have a lot of chase, and this is like career chase. So you have Harper. So league average is about 28.5. You have Harper that chases at 33.4. You have Stott that chases above league average. Real Muto chases above league average. And then you go and look at some of these guys when they do make chase contact. Obviously, we know Schwarber has never made great chase contact. He's either going to hit the ball mile or whiff. Marsh is under league average. Even though he hasn't struck out much. Castellanos under league average, Trey Turner under league average, Bryce Harper under league average. I could go on, but you get the point. So having Alfonso Marquez behind the plate, depending on the combination of pitcher history, etc., sometimes scares me off and over. It doesn't here because of what my guy just said with the Phillies' ability to chase and how much they miss, and combine that with how often Gore is hitting in the zone, or even just clipping corners and working in the outer parts of the zone in spring training. He had 18 strikeouts in spring training and only 7 walks. So like I said, I'm buying McKenzie Gore today.
Let's get it. Well, it wouldn't be a show and it wouldn't be an opening day if we didn't talk Jose fucking Berrios versus the Orioles. Striking people last year at a whopping 19.5%. Not good. While walking people 7% of the time. Morning line was 5+ at -128 on FanDuel. It's still the same. Pitching outs were 15.5 -125. The show started a minute late. Because why? Because I bet the fucking over, and we'll talk about that. It did open at a 17.5, though. Earned runs are 2.5 -130 to the under. Projected lineup is now out. It is the same lineup. They just moved somebody back and somebody in between, which is fine. Good for me, actually. So projected lineup, 5 lefties, 4 righties. Last year, he struck lefties out 20.5%. Righties at a whopping 18.5%. Where at home, he had a 19% K percentage, and on the road, just a 20. Guys, this should be a damn holiday, not just because of opening day, because it's Jose Berrios Day. This has been literally my most profitable pitcher bet over the last 2 seasons, yet he is coming off his worst K percentage of his career. Now, can you look at his metrics? And you can. There's nothing to write home about. He's pretty much worse than league average at everything I want to look at for a pitcher other than chase. And you look at Berrios' K percentage versus this lineup. Me personally, I don't give a rat's ass about what his K percentage is versus a lineup. It's never came down to what I've used for this man because it's always been 50-50 or so. And I'm not betting to bet 50-50. I'm betting to win at a better percentage than that. So what do we care about? What is the key? You all should know now, bro, but it's chase contact for me, guys. And if you watch this show, I've got to have 2/3 of the lineup to point one way or the other. We just talked about it with Gore. Gore's got 6 people who chases, so that ticks off the key in my box that I like to look. Then I would go through the pitch mix. Right now in this lineup, it's 5-4 in favor of Berrios. Now, 5-4 isn't enough for me to run it, and when I run through, if you go 6 innings, I've got them right at 5. Now, I'm not trying to bet right at 5. You got to have a 1.5 advantage either way, whether I'm going to bet an under or an over when I do my calculations, because there's got to be room for errors. And in the first 2 weeks betting unders, you got to add a half a strikeout to 0.75 because pitching favors hitting the first 2 weeks. Okay, so there's stuff that you got to add into there that we do got to pay attention. Now, Berrios seen the Orioles 2 times last year with quality starts in both games, going 7 innings in one and 6 innings in the other. Now, going into it before I bet it, I looked at the outs and I'm like, this is the way. This is the way. But then I try to talk myself off of it, like, no, Sharpie, da. You shouldn't do that. Then I go look at what he's done this spring. And in 3 of these games, his changeup has been up. So it looks like he's trying new things with his changeup. And his strikeout percentage, granted spring training, it's the best it's been in 4 years in a spring training. Like, this guy's damn near averaged almost a strikeout per inning in 20 innings with a damn near sub-2 ERA. This guy threw 84 pitches last time out. He's ready to go. He's ready to rock. The last thing I said, well, Sharpie, dig one more, dig a little deeper before you fucking throw your money on this shit. So I did. I went and looked at his last 2 fucking opening day starts. This man went 6 innings and then 5.2 innings 2 years ago. So at the end of the day, I had to stop being a pussy and I had to get on that dog named Jose Berrios. And if he did add something to his changeup, that's just a plus to this guy, bro. But give me the outs over 15.5 at -125. I got to. You got anything else to add on it?
No, you said it. I was just going to say throughout the entire, March, because he started opening day, but even through April, except for one start where he kind of got roughed up a little bit against the Royals, pretty much 88 plus pitches every single start. 80 plus, he's been throwing, I think he threw almost close to over 80 in his last spring training start. So that's another thing that I look at very, very closely early in the year is that in absence of any pitching coach or managerial changes, it was one of the things that led me to Gore was how long of a leash is he going to have? Because that's something that you have to pay very close attention to, especially if you're trying to bet on guys that are in a new situation, in a new element, or are making, like, maybe they started spot starts at the end of last year, but this is like their first time in the regular rotation. You got to look at that stuff, because if a manager is not going to let a guy go, it doesn't really matter who he's facing or what kind of stuff he has. And they've been letting Berrios go. So I wouldn't be surprised if he throws 90 pitches here. And based on his other lines, yeah, I can't argue at all. Nope. You're on mute if you're talking, Sharpie.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I kept trying to find a reason not to, because I like to be a vagina, and I'm like, no. And everything kept telling me, like, bro, this dude's going 6 and he's probably going to end up on 5, if not 4. Like, I got to go with what I think hits first. And at the end of the day, too many things kept pointing me to the outs. Like, nah, it's my time. It's Berrios' time. Everyone else looking at Paul Skeens, all these big dog names out there. And I'm going to come at you sideways with some motherfuckers, bro. Jose Berrios. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the dog y'all need to be worried about today. So do me a favor, guys. If you like what you're hearing, smash the like button. It really does help. And if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button as well. It's kind of funny, though, my guy Spin Doc, because 2 of the 3 guys you sent me, I already had lineups and shit drawn out for those guys, bro. So I was like, oh, this is going to be easy to write little comments on. Like, we're probably thinking the right way, even though I do got some roles that I do got to adhere to, and we'll get to it. And one of those roles that just came up in the last one, and I get stoned and forget that shit. I should type it out when you're talking, because there was something you said that registered that it's just like, I've got to pay attention to certain things like that, but it'll pop back up. And while it pops back up and I try to think about it, let's talk about the Blake Snell experience versus the Tigers, striking people out last year at a nice 34.5% clip, while walking people 10.5% of the time. Morning line 7+ -152 on FanDuel, pretty much still the same. Pitching outs 14.5 -120 to the over. Earned runs were at a half, but hella juice to 200 to the over. Projected lineup is 6 righties and 3 lefties. And I mean, you don't want to run righties, but fucking lefties? Striking lefties out 40.5%, striking righties out 33.5%, whereas home road splits were pretty much the same, 34.5%. Ah, man, let's talk the headache.
So I included him just because I had to. That was one where I'm like, I gotta at least talk about him. All right. So here's my thoughts on TBSE. Is he's going to a place where he's had a lot of success, but in an opposing uniform. So he's obviously going to be pitching in Dodger Stadium. He's had, but this will be the first time that he'll be doing it wearing Dodger blue. Now, in spring training, very, very limited action. Only 2 starts, and he's only thrown 4 2/3 innings, 6 strikeouts. But the big thing with him, and even though it's spring training, it still applies, is 1 walk. Now he is in the mix today, obviously, with a new catcher. I'm assuming Smith will start at catcher, and I'm assuming Smith will catch him. So he does have some history against this team. The guy with the most history is Gleyber Torres, 6 Ks in 20 plate appearances. Otherwise, not a whole lot of experience. So that would favor the pitcher. But there's 2 things. And why I'm going to tell you, if you're going to bet it, to do it the way that I'm saying it versus just taking the over 6.5, is number 1 is that brand new catcher, limited spring training starts, brand new, a lot of things for him, even though the stadium he has familiarity with. How will that play a role? The other thing is that there's always a chance, especially early in the MLB season, for pitchers to get what I call daved. And if you are a Dodger fan like Sharpie is, you know what I'm talking about with pitchers. You get daved, which is where right around the 4th or 5th inning, after about 65, 70 pitches, he's walking to the mound because Dave has a plan and he's going to follow that plan. And that's just the way that it's going to be. So if you're going to take Snell, because can he get 7 strikeouts? Good Lord, yes, he can against this lineup. He can get 8, he can get 9, even if he's only going to throw less than 5 innings. So if you're going to bet this man in his first start for this new team, with a new catcher, with new signals, with limited spring training experience, he's a veteran, so he can pitch through it. But I have a strong hunch that one of 2 things is going to happen. That one, he's going to throw about 75-ish pitches, and he's going to just absolutely be lights out and amped up because Snell is a guy that rides waves of emotion, and he's going to strike out about 8 or 9, and he's going to walk off the mound a hero, or he's going to strike out about 4 or 5, and he's going to rack his pitch count up by the 5th inning, and he's going to get daved, at least in his first start. So that is why, from a value perspective for Blake Snell, what I wouldn't do is I certainly wouldn't pay minus 152 or minus 160 or whatever the juice is for his over 6.5. What I'd actually do is I would take an alt over if you're going to play this one. So I think, if I remember right, I think you can get 8 plus at plus money. I think you can. I'm getting it right now. This is on DraftKings. So I think you can get 8 plus at plus money. So if you're going to do that, and yeah, I think it is. So yep, it's 8 plus at plus money on DraftKings. If you're going to play this man, that's what I would do. I don't think in any world you can take the under here, just because of who we're dealing with. But I'm looking, I don't see a lot of in between for Blake Snell today. I really, really don't. I think he's racking up his pitch count and he's getting pulled in around, before the 5th inning, or he is going to pitch through 5 and he's going to have about 8 or 9 strikeouts. So save yourself the juice if you want to take the gamble, and take this man for an alt if you're going to play it. What were you thinking about TBSE, Sharpie?
Bro, I really got to come down to the lineups and all that, guys, because when it comes down to him, bro, it's the zone swing percentage for me.
Mhm.
Like, if you're not going to be patient and take pitches versus this guy, you're in for a hell of a fucking day. Now, the other thing is the rules I was talking about. I will not bet a 6.5 over for the first 2 weeks. You will not see me. I am not that fucking guy. Nah. It's gonna be tough for me to even get to a 5.5. Robbie Ray, you give me 5.5, I'm gonna fuck you in the eye hole. But there's very few guys that I'm willing to chase up right now for I gotta know you're going 6 innings. I've got to average it out. Like, I can't. There's just certain things you gotta work out in the first few weeks. So being a 6.5, that's completely off the board for me. I can't even look to go over, even if I wanted to. Can I pull them down? Why? I can't get them down to 5. It's going to be what, minus 700? Like, that's not going to do your parlay nothing if he goes out there and shits the bed, bro. And that's what it comes down to. Blake Snell is one of the best pitchers in the game when on, but he's also one of the worst pitchers in the league when not on. Like, give me a good game, give me 2 good games, and you'll see me on the Blake Snell fucking train. And I'll be late to the party. That's fine. I'd rather be late to the party than get demolished by high numbers because his name is Blake fucking Snell. Now, to go towards the people betting the over, here you go. I've always said it, and you'll hear it from pitchers. Dodger Stadium is the best place for pitchers to pitch at night. It's just the background, the stadium, they're all white jerseys, baseball's white. The way everything's set up there, the cool air at nighttime in LA, like, everything plays to the pitchers. This guy has a 2.6 ERA with 86 strikeouts and like 62 innings at Dodger Stadium. So I'm not looking to fade a Blake Snell, but the outs tell you he's only going 5.
Max.
That's it. That's if he can get there. And the other thing I was talking about betting outs with too, another rule I have that you got to pay attention to. A lot of these teams are not playing tomorrow. And this team does. They are playing tomorrow. Dodgers do play again tomorrow.
Yep.
Now, a lot of these teams aren't. And if you're looking to bet strikeout props, if you're looking to bet outs props, you got to factor in bullpens coming in early. They're not playing tomorrow. Bullpens got to get their reps too. So take that into betting these props today, guys. Like, oh, this guy got pulled at 5 fucking innings. Yeah, they don't have a game tomorrow. I bet Berrios' outs over 15.5. They have a game tomorrow. Like, there is a psychological thing. You have to figure this shit out too, guys. It's not just, oh, I like this bet today. You know, he's got his lucky blue thong on. He's got to fucking do it.
Hey, to your point, yeah, on FanDuel, you can get Snell 5+ strikeouts at minus 1,000 if you want. But no, the best number I could find, I think, was on FanDuel. Snell 8+ at plus 124. What you might want to do is if you're going to do just like a crazy fun lunch money parlay, you can throw the 8+ in there just as a nice little booster for it, because I strongly suspect if he gets 7, he's getting 8, or he's not touching either one. So just know that, especially with all the factors in play, with especially with it being new stadium, new catcher, new system, and Dave Roberts early in the season, is that it's a volatile play. But and that's why, for a volatile play, what I always say is that if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna put the risk it by needing more of something on the bet. In this case, an extra strikeout. Don't give them juice, and especially don't give them juice on a play like this early in the season.
And no lie, I wouldn't be surprised to see Snell throw his curveball a lot more than he normally does, because Clayton Kershaw was talking to him about it, and he was just in awe. He is baseball players are fans too, guys. And he goes, Clayton Kershaw told me he liked my curveball. He liked my curveball. This is coming from the greatest curveball in baseball history, Clayton Kershaw, bro. So this guy's going to trust that pitch a little more, bro. So I wouldn't be like, when he gets on his roll, good luck, fellas. Like, the Dodgers are stacked, bro. Like, fuck.
He, as you said, when when he's rolling, he's one of the most unhittable pitchers in all of baseball. When he's not rolling, you want to just stand there and just wait, because he'll either put you on base or he'll give you something really, really juicy to hit, trying to overcompensate. But if he's on, yeah, there are very few better in the game.
All right, let's talk one that may be better, but at least last year he was. Chris fucking Sale. It's Sale Day on opening day, and he gets the San Diego Padres. Struck people out last year 32% of the time, walked people 5.5%. Morning line 5.5 was even money on DraftKings. It's now minus 115 to the 5.5 to the over. Pitching outs is 17.5 minus 130 to the under. Earn runs 1.5 minus 125 to the under. Now, I'm not a value person. Like I don't ever preach that all the time. I get it. Value's there to be bet. I get it. But if you're going to bet and talk value, his earn runs are 1.5. His outs are 17.5. The Padres team total first 5 is 1.5. Would you want to risk another 3 fucking outs for the same fucking price? Just a way to look at it, guys. So projected lineup, 6 righties, 3 lefties. Last year versus lefties dominated them. 36% K percentage, 31.5 versus righties. And last year at home, 30% compared to 34.5% strikeout percentage on the road. As we know, guys, we don't just have Berrios Day here. We do have Sale Day, who happens to be my second most profitable pitcher bet last year, versus a Padres team, guys, who couldn't hit lefties for the life of them last season. And this spring hasn't fucking changed. Now, Sale got hurt in his last start. We seen it, guys, when no one else did. People were fucking mad at me on Twitter, like, you're fucking dumb. He's not hurt. Like, bro, he's fucking hurt. I'm fading him if he pitches in the playoffs. He never pitched in the playoffs. Why? Because the fucker was hurt, guys. And when you're like me and Spin, and we have other things we're doing and other shit we got going on, we're looking at the box score strikes just pop up red or green, and it tells you the mile per hour and what pitch. And this guy's not hitting 90 on a fastball. I'm 83 on a slider. I'm shitting bricks. I start going to my chat, bet the live under, dude. Like, fucking dude, I know we're on the over, bro. Fuck it. Under. And thank God I middled it, but the under hit. But, dude, Jiminy Christmas, man. What I'm getting at is he ain't hurt no more. He's looked elite this spring, guys, and he's back to being the Cy Young Award guy that we used to see last year. Now, I do believe he has a chip on his shoulder, guys, as he hasn't gone back-to-back 25 game start seasons since 2018 and 19. So I don't think he takes this year off. I still think he wants to prove that he can do this multiple years in a row. Now, I've watched his last two outings, where the last, it shows only 4 innings, but I listened to the radio, guys, and you're going to learn a lot if you listen to games on the radio. Sale went to the bullpen to finish out his day to get ready for opening day after throwing 80-something pitches the game before. So you've got to expect Sale is good for 90 or 6, whatever comes first. Now, the Padres to face 2 guys that I would bet on that are in my black book this spring over the past 2 weeks. Robbie Ray, who added a changeup, and Andrew Abbott. Where Abbott went 4 innings, 0 earned runs with 3 strikeouts, Robbie Ray went 5 innings, 0 earned run with 2 Ks. And Robbie Ray, guy, is getting 2 Ks per game up until that game, guys. He's been dominating spring training and only had 2 strikeouts. He added the Scooble changeup in the offseason, which pretty much, guys, is Sale's repertoire. Sale is fastball, slider, changeup. Okay? And he just got 2 strikeouts versus this team. We know they're a very good contact hitting team. And versus lefties, what I've learned in spring training is Tatis will be leading off Tatis is leading off versus lefties now. The lineup isn't out yet, but that's exactly what I'm expecting. And the way I wanted to attack this, guys, is I wanted the team total under. But then it was a 2.5, guys, or the 3.5 was like minus 165, or I can't bet that type of juice. And There's no way I could bet the team total under 2.5. This is the first month of baseball. There's going to be running mistakes. There's going to be errors. There's going to be 2.5 on a team total. That's fucking risky business. Now, what I did do is because I think Sale shuts them down. I think this is an under game, but I also don't want to trust King. Is I altered the team total under, and I hooked it to a prop that we are going to talk about later in the show. So if you put a gun to my fucking head, guys, I'm going to tell you Chris Sale under strikeouts. I know that's fucking crazy, but it's also scary taking an under with Tatis leading off. Now, the guy could damage you, but he could also strike out 3 fucking times in a game as well. So anything to add?
No, man. I usually just defer to you when it comes to Sale because I know he's your guy. But yeah, he, and actually based on his spring training, he appears to be fully healthy again. Yes, I mean
he's looked fully healthy. He didn't turn it up to 97 at all in the last game, but he didn't need to. That's what the Braves said. Like, he didn't need to. Like, and he's been that type of pitcher since he came back. He's not going to turn the gas up until a runner's in scoring position and he needs a strikeout. Then you will see the high digit 90 fastball from Chris Sale. His arm angle is the best arm angle in all of baseball. Sean Manaea is trying to copy it and became dominant once he did.
Yep.
That's just, they're not used to seeing the ball coming out of the third base dugout.
Yep. And the other thing with him is even in his last spring training start, only 67 pitches, but he did complete four complete innings. And in all of his spring training starts, with the exception of one where he got roughed up a little bit, is he completed the inning. And that's actually been the case for him throughout, like I said, all of spring training and throughout a number of his starts last year, is that they have him complete an inning. So I would venture to guess that the reason why it was only 67 pitches March 21st against the Rays is because he completed an inning. So if he had completed an inning and he was at, like, say 58 pitches or 50, something like that, he probably would have gone another one. But then you start thinking about at least 15 pitches, maybe 20. And if you want him to complete the inning to get 5 in, now you're talking running your pitch count up near 90. And before you start an opening day, that's not what you want. So it's very, very rare that you see a guy who's going to be in the regular rotation for a team, no matter who it is, that goes 90 pitches in a spring training start. 80 is usually the max. And so if you go with the theory that the Braves were just having him finish the inning, that if you're going to start him in the 5th, that doesn't leave a whole lot of runway if you want him to finish. So I would venture to guess, because he went 83 in the one before on March 15th against Boston. I would venture to guess that that's why it was only 67 pitches. I would probably venture to guess that he'll throw between 85 to 90 today.
Yeah, I got to expect that as well. What do you lean on the K prop? Would you bet the over?
If I was betting it,
dude, it's so, like, top heavy. Like, you got Diaz projected at the bottom. There's some guys down there that it's just going to get them every time you see him. I think it's risky business.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, if he's not going to get, or let's just even say he gets, like, say 1 between Tatis, Arias, and Machado, how many times is he going to get through? I don't know, man. It's probably one that I'm just completely ignoring today.
Yeah, but we're ignoring it, and the under is going to be fucking the easiest bet in the board, bro. Like, he's going to go 6 innings, 3 strikeouts, 0 earned runs.
No earned runs. And, like,
people are going to be crying.
Yeah.
Fucking 3 strikeouts. Hey, bro, sorry about your luck.
Yeah.
Hope you hit, though, if that's what you're betting, guys. Throw your bets out in the chat and we'll pop them up when we're talking, guys. We're not haters. We just giving you our opinions, and opinions are like assholes. Everyone have them.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk this one, because I had to ask you a question about it, but you answered it for me, and God, I'm glad I just wait and be patient. Justin Steele at the Diamondback, striking people out last year 24.5%, while walking people 6.5% of the time. Morning line was 5+, plus 128 on FanDuel, still the same. Pitching outs 15.5, minus 135 to the under. Earned runs 1.5, minus 180 to the over. Projected lineup is 6 righties, 3 lefties. Struck lefties out at 29.5% to a 23.5% K rate versus righties, and had a 2% higher strikeout rate on the road than he did at home. Let's talk your guys' Steele.
All right. Well, first of all, Steele hasn't looked good in a while. If you were on here when we talked for the Tokyo series, that was one of the things that we were talking about with Steele, is that in his last spring training start against Milwaukee, he got absolutely rocked. 10 hits, 7 earned, 3 home runs, and only 62 pitches. It didn't get any better out in Tokyo, where the Dodgers kind of lit him up as well. So the other thing that was a little more concerning was Steele doesn't have an overpowering fastball to begin with. Now, his fastball out in Tokyo was at an average of 90.9 miles an hour, which is almost a mile an hour under what his already soft tossing average was. He didn't hit 94 once, which I think is the first time in a while that that's happened in a regular season game. 93.8 was the max that he topped out at. The other thing that was that you don't try to put too much stock in one game, but Steele had been consistently in the zone, 51.6, 53.2, 57.3 over the last 3 seasons. Out in Tokyo, 44.8, and in spring training, it was under 50% as well. So I combine that and I look at this Diamondbacks team where they have a few guys that chase, especially including new addition, who's probably going to be in the starting lineup, Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor chases above league average at 32.2, or did last year, career average of 33.8 compared to an MLB average of 28.5, but he makes great contact when he does chase. And that was the other thing, is that when guys chased against Steele, even though he didn't spend much time in the zone, he did get one of the lowest chase contact rates in his career. So how does that correlate to today? Well, what Sharpie was referencing, what we were talking about, is you would think with all of that, and you would think with a high contact team like the Diamondbacks, that this might be like a spot to look at the D-backs, but hold the phones, because when you look at what this line has done, if you follow lines, this money line has absolutely flown down on the D-backs to the tune of, I think, Sharpie, you said almost 40 cents. This one opened at Cubs plus 145. And despite only taking 25% of the bets and 37% of the money, it's flown down to plus 108. There is something weird going on with this money line, with a definite shade on the Cubs here. Now, how can we translate that to Steele? First and foremost is he's got some very poor history striking out this lineup, and in more than a few plate appearances as well, like Ketel Marte, 1 for 14, Corbin Carroll, 2 for 9. You have Gabe Moreno, 0 for 8. The only one that he's really gotten on a consistent basis, but this was before he improved his overall swing metrics last year, was Eugenio Suarez, and Suarez has a tendency to strike out to begin with because he swings so hard, has gotten him 6 out of 9 times. So if you look at this lineup from past history, you only see Suarez as the guy that you can think, yeah, he can really get. So, but the problem is that the under 4.5 Ks at minus 170 is just disgusting, and I have no interest in betting it. What I do have interest in, though, is his outs. And so even though you have the line movement on the money line here for the game, what you also have is what my man just said not too long ago, is the Cubs play tomorrow. The Cubs and Diamondbacks play tomorrow. And so you might not be as apt to see the bullpens in the game, and the line you're getting on these strikeouts with such an absolutely gaudy juice on 4.5 is, I believe, because there could be some more pitching to contact here. You can pitch to contact more with the Diamondbacks than you can with the Dodgers, because if you're a soft tossing lefty against the Dodgers, you got to work around just minefield after minefield after minefield, because those are the kind of pitchers that they just absolutely kick the shit out of and mash. Not so much with the Diamondbacks, who are more of a contact team. So what I'm actually looking at here, I wouldn't put a bag on it, but Steele's outs at 15.5. The over 15.5 is plus 100. And that to me is decent value for a guy who is in a spot right now where he can pitch to contact. He's a guy that spent over 50% of his time in the zone throughout his career up until the one game out in Tokyo. But again, the opponent that he was facing a little bit more, because you have to work around so many minefields. The zone swing for this Diamondbacks team, you got a number of guys that are in the lineup. Marte at 71.3. You got Gurriel at almost 70. You have Grichuk at almost 70. All of these guys are above league average. So if Steele operates in the zone against these guys, there's a good chance that they're going to swing and put the ball in play. What can that lead to? Well, I mean, aside from hits, originally I thought hits and runs. Now, when I see the way that this line is moving, and I see that the line is moving against the action on the total, what I can personally see is a lot of pitching to contact, which can lead to shorter at bats, especially because the Cubs play tomorrow and they need him for the whole. They need the bullpen for the whole weekend, and so that gives me value on the over 15.5 outs. Again, I wouldn't put a whole bag on it, but I think at plus 100 at this point in the season, given the circumstances, there's value to be had. So it would be Justin Steele over 15.5 outs at even money. This is not the same type of team that the Dodgers are. The Diamondbacks don't have the kind of power that the Dodgers do. They don't have the ability to just string together double after double after then home run and just run up the scoreboard. They are a very, very high contact, scratch it out, infield hits type of team. And that plays well into this line for me, especially again, when the Cubs play tomorrow. So over 15.5 outs at plus 100 for me. I'm not touching the strikeouts though. The under 4.5 is just, that juice is just gaudy. I'm not paying that.
No, I'm not paying it either. But man, the things I wrote down is just pretty much like you said. He lives in the zone. I believe he was the best in the league last year, 9% better than league average. Chris Sale status, like this guy pounds the zone. It's a contact team. I actually wanted to fade him versus him. And I wanted to back Gallen because it was like, dude, this is Gallen on a contract year, and they just paid Corbin Burns. Gallen's had one of the best springs he's had in a long time. I'm like, this dude's coming into the season ready to bang. So do the books know something? Is Gallen only going 5 today because the first 5's higher than the actual money line? But I can't try to figure out what the books are doing, guys. When money's flying around like that and they're begging for it one way, if I can't figure it out, I'm not going to bet it. Now, if I could somehow run through this lineup and get 3 strikeouts, I'll look for the 3.5 if I'm going to take a strikeout. But like I said, you got to add a half to a 0.75 right now on these unders. And fucking with Eugenio Suarez, he might give you all 3 himself. So
good.
They've got so many good contact guys, but the guys who don't, they don't.
They're bad.
They don't. So, yeah, definitely I wanted to fade Steele. I also thought the sickness that he had, I was like, dude, maybe it's what Mookie had. Maybe it's what Porzingis had. It's not just get over it. So there's just so many things that Spin brought it up last time. I'm going to learn from this game. I don't got to waste no money on it personally. I want to back Gallen first 5. I don't got to. I don't have to just, let's fucking do what the books want me to. I can go out there, see if I'm right. If Gallen goes and shoves, and maybe Steele's going to match him today. Maybe that's what the books are banking on, that Steele is going to match him now. Something I did pick up in the Tokyo game. Steele has the 6th lowest ERA of starting pitchers in the National League over the last 2 years. Huh? What?
Yep.
As a 2-pitch pitcher, bro, good for fucking you, bro. God forbid if he ever learns himself another pitch. So.
Can you imagine if he ever like learned a splitter or something?
Just a changeup would be nice,
Like,
bro.
Oh my God, he'd win a Cy Young.
All right, guys, now we're going to get into something that I bet when it first came out and it fucking went against me, and now it's gone back up. But it's my parlay I was talking about with Chris Sale, and let's get into it. Clay Holmes at the Astros, striking people out last year 25% of the time, while walking people 8% of the time. Morning line was 4.5 plus 125, now plus 108 on FanDuel. Pitching outs 14.5. It opened at minus 155, shot up to minus 165. That's where I got in, and I bet the over 14.5 at minus 165, and I altered it to the Padres team total under 5.5 to get minus 110. You'll be like, why 5.5? Because I'd rather be fucking safe than sorry. If you ever watched me in this show, I don't bet parlays for plus money, man. I just want my money back. I'm cool. I ain't trying to get rich. I just want to get what I want. And I had 2 spots circled. The Padres team total under, they gave me a 2.5. We ain't betting no 2.5. And then I had this man's outs over if they gave me a 14.5. It's like minus 185 now, so it's still parlayable if you're looking for a parlay piece. I'm telling you what I bet with my parlay. And his earned runs are 1.5 minus 155 juice to the over. Projected lineup is 8 righties, 1 lefty. His K prop 2 also opened at hella juice 3.5 minus like 160 and has been constantly moving. And I'm starting to understand why, as with the 8 righties, 1 lefty lineup they're projecting, he only struck out lefties 18.5%. And the only lefty in this lineup projected is Jordan. And you're not striking out your daddy. But he dominated righties with a 31.5% strikeout rate, where home road he dominated at New York Stadium with a 7% difference on the road. Now, if you've watched this show, guys, you know the bet that has probably won me more money than most, and that is backing a ground ball pitcher in Houston or in Philadelphia, as they soak their infields more than any others, and I mean soak. So when you hit 108 off the bat, it makes it playable for an easy out or a double play instead of a single in any other ballpark. And what do we have in this game? Clay Holmes and Framer Valdez, where Valdez over the last 3 seasons is in the top 2 in starting pitching and ground ball percentage, where last year he was at 60%. Now enter the guy we're here to talk about, Clay Holmes, who has been a reliever since he's came into the big leagues and is now a starter. But don't forget, all these guys were starters until they were put into the bullpen. Now, Clay Holmes, since 2020, is the number 1 active pitcher in all of baseball when it comes to ground ball percentage at a smooth 67%. And if we go through spring training, he's at 64% this spring, as he built himself up to 88 pitches last time out with a nasty 0.93 ERA, 23K to 8 walk ratio in 19 innings. And no, guys, this is not the same old Astros when it comes to strikeouts. More like the Astros of last year late, where they were very top heavy with contact. So if you are looking to get in on his K prop, it might be a live bet type situation, because getting Altuve, you might, but Paredes and your daddy, those top 3 are contact guys. Then you're going to get to Diaz in the 5 hole. Then it opens up. I'm not trying to bet a strikeout prop where it opens up at the back end, guys. So give me a sinker baller in the best motherfucking place to back a sinker baller at a 14.5. Now, if they would have put 15.5, I would have had to let it go. Asking these guys to go 6, that's a lot right now, guys. You're like, but you did it with Berrios. Berrios has proved it his last 2 opening days. Difference. Pitched 5.1 innings, 84 pitches last time out. He going as long as he can go. Just don't give up them butt cheeks, boy. But yeah, so there's things you got to ride, things you got to look at, guys. And if you know me, I'm going to ride me a good fucking ground ball pitcher in Houston any day of the fucking week until they capitalize on it. So 14.5, guys, is out there. If you're looking for a piece to put with something you like today, take it, or just get on board with me and take that minus 110 and under 5.5 Padres team total. You got anything to talk about, Mr. Clay Holmes?
No, man. You said it all. You said it all.
He had a nasty changeup, bro. I was looking at his pitches when he was pitching in spring training. I was like, dude, his velo fastball was down like 2 miles per hour, but that happens when you're a starter. You understand I can't give it everything. You give everything when you need to.
Yep.
Not every fucking pitch. That's how you blow your arm out. Now, what does bother me with Clay Holmes is this fucker's hasn't pitched like more than 60 innings ever. Now, that'll be a point to get to in a couple months, 2 months, 3 months. But we got a guy in Philly's division. Oh, my God, give me them at phone, too. Oh, boy. As soon as I saw them get traded there, I was like, oh, yes. Give me Clay Holmes. Then they announced him the opening day guy, and I was like, in Houston? Fuck my life. No Tucker, no Bregman. What I think the Angels win total, that now that we're going to talk bullshit stuff because we're done, I think the Angels win total actually goes over for the first time in like 8 or 9 years.
You know, I actually liked some of the moves that they made in the offseason. I actually thought that Kikuchi was a good signing. I talked about that on one of the preview shows that I did. I actually think that Kikuchi is going to have a decent year out there. I really do.
Their lineup doesn't look too shabby. They just cut Moniak. Sucks for K props.
He's a walking K.
But good for the Angels. Solaire's in there. I mean, as long as Trout's healthy for a month and a half, bro, they should be a good team to bet on. Kick to the balls.
The other team that I actually think is going to be, and I mean, they already kind of started to come on last year. I actually think that the Athletics are going to be not too shabby this year. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be a playoff team. They're not going
and Duhar, bro, was batting like 500 in spring training.
I'm telling you.
Okay, now something I did notice in the spring I was picking on. Lefties. They can't hit lefties.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something I want to check out. You know, granted, I want to see the regular lineup. They were spring training, but I was picking on them with like Cantanillo.
Yep.
Regular fucking lefties, bro. They'd go out there 4 or 5 innings, 1 run. I'm like, fuck yeah, keep the under. Just kept betting unders with lefties with them. So you brought up the freaking umpire situation and how you like to take that and how you even got me looking at them now. Why don't you let these guys know where the king of all strikeouts is going to be hanging out today? Oh,
he is with the Pirates and the Marlins today. Mr. Bill Miller today. He is in Miami today. So yeah, he's with Skeens, with Alcantara, and Bill Miller. That sounds like a winning combination to me. And I remember I just spam texted you as soon as I said that. I just spam texted you K.
I had a buddy who we were exactly talking about the under. I was like, bro, because he was like, bro, 6.5. Fuck, man, fuck, just yelling at it. And I was like, well, if this helps, bro, go after it. You've got the best under freaking person for baseball.
You have, yep.
If you talk the narratives real quick, because I do got to go to work shortly. Yep. But what's good for baseball? Paul Skeens started All-Star game. They want this guy to have a dominant season, guys. This guy's on the face of everything. I'm not saying he ain't good, but they are promoting him, and wouldn't be surprised if he gets a little bit of extra calls from old Bill Milskis.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, it's hard to trust both of those bullpens, but and how long do they let Alcantara go? That's the question. It's like, they said he was on a limit, but then backtracked it.
Yep.
Oh, fuck you, bro. I've already gotten in argument fights with that Miami coach. I'll fuck him up, bro. I'll fuck him up if I ever see him. Well, my guy, let these fine young people know where they can find you, what you got going on.
At Spin Doc Sports, got it's another season of K-Props. Ready to just rock and roll again. Got a bunch of March Madness stuff going on. There's a whole bunch, but yeah, at Spin Doc Sports. So would love to help you out. And it's another season of baseball. It's a beautiful day is upon us.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor? Appreciate you guys all for tuning in. We pulled 60 plus live, guys. We have a solid group of people on this channel. We don't have bots. We have people who watch this show. So we appreciate you. Smash the like button. It really does help, guys. And until next time, let's have a day, guys, and give God the glory and do it again tomorrow.